In this video, we will discuss experiments of Galileo Galilei. We observe the changes in motion of many objects around us. We discuss the concept of velocity and acceleration in the chapter Motion. Philosophers of the ancient world were very much interested in the study of motion. One question always popping up in their mind was, what is the natural state of an object if left to itself? Our common sense tells us that every moving object on earth, if it is left free for some time, gradually comes to rest by itself. What happens if you stop pedaling your bicycle? It slows down gradually and finally stops. We wonder to know that Aristotle, the great philosopher of that time, also concluded that the natural state of an earthly object is to be at rest. He thought that the object at rest requires no explanation, as any moving object naturally comes to rest. Philosopher Galileo Galilei stated that an object in motion will remain in same motion as long as no external forces apply to it. Galileo came up with two thoughtful experiments. He did his experiments on inclined planes with smooth surfaces and observed that the smoother the surface, the farther the ball will travel. He extended this argument and concluded that if the surface was perfectly smooth, the ball will travel indefinitely until encountered by another object. As shown in figure 1a, downward motion. He observed that when a marble rolls down a slope, it picks up speed due to the force of gravity of the earth. In figure 1b, upward motion. When the object rolls up an inclined plane, its speed decreases. Now let's assume that a marble is moving on a level surface as shown in the figure 1c. It has no reason to speed up or slow down, so it will continue to move with constant velocity. By this experiment, Galileo came to an conclusion which was in contrast to Aristotle's belief that the natural state of an object is rest. Now another experiment of Galileo. As shown in the figure 2a, the marble released from its initial height rolled down due to the force of gravity and then moves up the slope until it reached its initial height. Then he reduced the angle of the upward slope and did the same experiment, as shown in the figure 2b. The marble rolled up the same height, but it had to go further in this instance. That means the distance traveled by it is greater. He made his observation by further reduction in the angle of the upward slope. He got the same result. To reach the same height, the ball had to go further each time. Last, he concluded that the natural state of a moving object, if it is free of external influences, is uniform motion. From this experiment, we can say that an object will remain in uniform motion unless a force acts on it. Galileo imagined a world where there is no friction. For example, if there were no friction, we would not have been able to walk on ground. We would not have been able to stop a fast moving car, and etc. It is very difficult to perform many physical activities without friction. Built upon ideas primarily developed by Aristotle and Galileo, Sir Isaac Newton proposed his three fundamental laws, which explain the connection between force and a change in motion. These three laws are popularly known as Newton's laws of motion.